The air hung thick and heavy, a miasma of sweat, exhaust fumes, and cheap perfume. Bodies pressed against him, a sea of faces shifting, staring. He gripped the metal bar above, knuckles white. Each bump of the bus sent a jolt through his spine. The city, a living, breathing beast, threatened to swallow him whole. His name was John, but people called him Freak. He saw things, not with his eyes, no, he felt them. Emotions, thoughts, swirling around him like dust devils. Their envy, their lust, their disgust. It clung to him, a second skin he couldn't shed. He lowered his gaze, focusing on his worn shoes. Even then, he felt their eyes on him, burning, judging. He knew what they saw. A man built like a truck, thick legs, scarred hands, the mark of the kitchen, the grease, the burns, forever etched on his skin. They thought him simple, a brute, a cog in the machine, serving their desires. Their thoughts were razor blades, slicing through his defenses, exposing his raw, vulnerable core. Scorpio, his birth sign, the scorpion, forever misunderstood, passionate, intense, but feared for its sting. He felt that sting now, the venomous whispers of judgment poisoning his soul. Why couldn't they see beyond the surface, see the storm raging within? Capricorn, the sign he was moving towards, the goat, sure-footed, climbing towards ambition. But even the goat carried a burden, the weight of expectation, of responsibility. He longed for that strength, that unwavering resolve, but the whispers held him back, dragged him down. The whispers were ancient, echoes of a time when his kind were feared, ostracized, burned at the stake for daring to be different. He felt the weight of history on his shoulders, the collective fear of generations passed down like a curse. He closed his eyes, trying to block out the noise, but the city was a relentless assailant, its energy seeping into his pores. The pressure built within him, a pressure cooker ready to explode. He wanted to scream, to lash out, to make them understand. But what good would it do? They saw what they wanted to see, a monster in their midst. He felt his heart pounding, a trapped bird in his chest. His breath came in short, shallow gasps. The bus lurched to a stop, throwing him off balance. He stumbled off the bus, desperate for air, for space. But the city offered no respite. He was trapped in a cage of his own making, surrounded by people yet utterly alone. The weight of their judgment, a physical presence, threatened to crush him. He yearned for connection, for understanding, but the words wouldn't come. His throat felt raw, constricted. Silence was his only companion. He walked until his legs ached, until the city lights blurred into a kaleidoscope of color. He found himself drawn to a small park, tucked away from the chaos. The trees, ancient sentinels, seemed to whisper words of comfort. He sank onto a bench, his body heavy with exhaustion. But as he closed his eyes, he felt a shift within him. Not a release, not a victory, but a quiet acceptance. He was different, and that was okay. He couldn't control their perceptions, but he could control his own. He would not let their fear define him. He would find strength in his difference. He would rise above the whispers. He was John, and he was not afraid.